Nothing's working to cover up Meghan Markle's career catastrophe. No. The Archie and Lilibet stunt didn't work. The picture of Doria turned out to be 7 years old. So that didn't work either. So now Meghan decided, I know, I'm going to show the world that I'm a real human being by posting my bloopers reel from With Love Meghan Series 2 with the motto, Espresso yourself. The problem is that the bloopers reel was just as wooden and cold as she is. We've got Lady Colin Campbell on all of this drama in just one moment, but first, as Princess Campbell posted on X, it speaks volumes when a blooper reel isn't even remotely funny. Sometimes blooper reels are the funniest thing ever. But Meghan Markle's is a manila folder of blandness, not even a half smile worth of funny or entertaining. Lady C, nothing's working. The cover-up has failed.
Oh, Dan, 10 tears left eye. 10 tears left eye. I'm just so happy. Isn't it wonderful? Look at me. I've got so much taste and I'm just so fabulous. And everybody's going to do what I do and everybody's going to have fun the way I have fun because I'm just so marvelous. I'm just fabulous. Everybody's going to follow me. I'm just the ending style.
And Lady C, did you notice she was the only one laughing? No one else was laughing along.
No, well, that's often the case. I mean, that artificial, over-enthusiastic, faux, and I'm just so happy and I'm just so fabulous. And oh, let's not forget the hands. I mean, you actually have to feel sorry for her. She's pathetic. You know, really, sorry, she is pathetic.
And Lady C, when you actually look at the cold, hard numbers, even her allies, even the Hollywood press, even the people who claimed that Series 1 was a success, no one can paper over the cracks here. With Love Meghan Series 2 is now officially the biggest Netflix flop ever.
6 tears left eye.
If anyone deserved it, right?
Well, Dan, I think you and I have been predicting this for some time. I hate to sing our praises, but, you know, I don't think we're fortune tellers. I think we were simply sufficiently perceptive and prescient enough to realize what was coming, in much the same way that rarely a river flows into the sea. Failure is inevitable with Meghan because she is so artificial. And I think the big mistake that she has made is that she has allowed people to see her as she really is. In the good old days, when royalty kept its mouth shut, you didn't know what you were dealing with. So if somebody, for instance, had absolutely no personality, but because they were properly trained to, you know, say, how do you do, etc., and they did it in a very sort of predictable way, you didn't really know what you were getting, and you actually thought that that the person was sort of all right. You didn't think they're boring because they kept all of that away from you. Well, nowadays, of course, royalty is much more forthcoming, and Meghan is not really, she doesn't behave as if she's royalty or a well-bred person. I mean, may I interject and make a little point here?
Please.
Did you notice that when she was with Emily Chan and they were eating and she
for the Bloomberg interview?
Yeah. And when she was asking for a napkin, then she put the napkins were put on the table, which they normally are, and she kept hers on the table. while Emily Chan, who's obviously far better behaved and more civilized than Meghan, put hers on her lap, which is where a napkin belongs. But Meghan never once had her napkin in her lap. And not only was she talking with her mouth full, but she was also, having the napkin on the side. I mean, this woman is so unsophisticated, and she is really so ill-behaved.
Headlines and fan sleuths are buzzing that Meghan Markle's latest wave of posts and feel-good stories aren't organic at all, but carefully staged optics meant to paint her as wronged, resilient, and untouchable. The claim isn't that she's posting pretty pictures. Everyone does that. It's that the images and captions look engineered to pull sympathy while keeping her above the mess. Allegedly, a coordinated PR push sits behind the "I'm thriving" vibe, complete with photo ops and planted narratives. Whether you buy it or not, the pattern critics see is simple. Turn on the waterworks publicly, tug the heartstrings privately, and let the algorithm do the rest.
And watching her eat makes me sick. It makes me sick. I mean, Lady C, I know you sat through With Love, Meghan, bless you, but did you notice, apart from on 2 occasions, she would eat standing up around the kitchen island like some type of rabid animal, stuffing it in her face.
A pig at the trough. Sorry. That's what I thought. A pig at the trough. And all of that eating with her fingers, is she proving that she's a foodie or that she's savage? Because I think she's actually proving the latter. And I mean, is this somebody who the public is supposed to think is so glamorous and so appealing and so attractive that they will want to emulate her? I mean, these programs only work if you admire the person involved and you feel that they have something to offer you that you do not have yourself. Like Martha Stewart, for instance, I mean, she really is somebody that if you want a lifestyle, you'd follow Martha Stewart. But I mean, who's going to follow Meghan Markle except the few brain-dead followers that she has? And they certainly turned out to be few and far between.
And they're dwindling.
How many hundred down is she now? What is it? It's the Netflix latest viewing figures.
Oh my God.
796.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally going down by the day. She made none of the weekly top 10 lists, which is what the industry looks to see if something has been a hit. And it has been a catastrophic disaster, which is why we've got these stunts, Lady C. And I want to ask you about a couple of them, because the photo with Doria, which she turned into this moving image, turns out to be something that she posted in 2016. So why on earth is she putting up a picture that's 9 years old to celebrate her mother, unless her mother has said, I'm done. I don't want to be part of this PR circus anymore, which is what I'm being told is exactly what's happened.
Well, I think, Dan, isn't the story that Doria has bolted, that she couldn't stand swimming in that sea of feces anymore. And so she needed to sort of, climb onto the bank of sanity and cleanliness and good behavior. And that she's sort of dumped Meghan. Poor Megsy baby, definitely one tail left eye.
No, exactly. Being dumped by your own mother, it's quite something, isn't it? It really is quite something. And then, Lady C, the children. And we know this is always like the push emergency red button because, of course, the media, and I understand why, these two and I know people get very annoyed with me for saying this, but they are officially a prince and a princess. They are, even though it is very wrong, in my opinion, and I know your opinion too, that they remain in the line of succession, but they do. And of course, so she knows that if she wants to cover up a negative story, which in this case was with Love Meghan missing every single top 10 list around the world, push for the emergency red button. It is a picture of the children. We've seen this happen like clockwork now. The pictures are so inappropriate because very often their hair isn't done or it looks like they've been manipulated. I mean, look how creepy that was. That total weirdo, Daniel Martin, sort of peeking around the door at Lily. I mean, totally bizarre, and I actually feel sorry for the girl. I'm not going to lie. I feel sorry for the girl for being used in this manner. It's just incredibly weird and creepy. And then Lady C, she puts the heart, she puts the heart over a tiny bit of the face as sort of some type of sap to Prince Harry. Oh, don't worry, darling. Don't worry, you little head H. I'm protecting their privacy. But we know what she's doing, and unfortunately, Lady C, it does work because there is interest in these children. They are the monarch's grandchildren, and he doesn't see them. So of course she knows that it's almost like one of the only powers she has left, revealing the children bit by bit, piece by piece. But what did you make of the whole thing, of the whole stunt? And also the fact, by the way, you saw on Archie's t-shirt, it looks like it's some type of promotion for a soccer school, because this soccer school isn't even anywhere near her house.
Here's the twist that has people talking. Chatter online says Doria Ragland has stepped back after getting dragged into Meghan's image machine. For years, Meghan positioned Doria as the one authentic anchor in her world. Quiet, steady, unmessy. Now, rumor has it even Mom is keeping a cooler distance. None of this is officially confirmed, but the optics alone are brutal. If the person closest to you won't co-sign the vibe, that signals fatigue. And if it's true that Doria's done being a prop in anyone's narrative, that's not just a PR hiccup. It's a credibility crack you can't filter away.
Oh, but it may be near her bank account.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think there is a very good reason why reigning royals are not allowed to have any commercial activity that profits them personally. I mean, the king has had for many years Duchy of Cornwall, so he's had commercial activities. Buckingham Palace has the palace shop. So the monarch, irrespective of whom the monarch is, they have also commercial activities, but they do not go into the pockets of the royals themselves. They help to support the institution. This is not what's happening with Meghan and Harry, and she is relentlessly and mercilessly, and I would have said rather remorselessly, using those two children's existence to line her pocket. And, Catherine and William, for instance, their children are shown occasionally, but it is in the interests of the nation and the institution, and they are being brought up to play roles in later life. So all of that is ethically sound. But what Meghan does with those children is not only exploitative, but she also at the same time does it in a cutesy pie, very effective. Let me cock my fingers as I take tea and show you how classy I am. So I'm protecting H. I'm going to protect those kids. I'm going to use them mercilessly, but I'm not going to show their faces. Or when I show their faces, it's going to have hearts over them. It's so pretentious, and it is so in your face, vulgar and exploitative. I mean, who in their right mind, who cares about their children, would use them as commercial crutches, which is what Meghan does with those children? I mean, there's something almost obscene and definitely distasteful about the way she is exploiting Harry's children.
It's disgusting. It's totally disgusting. We know what she's doing, and we know why she's doing it. Lady C, what she's also exploiting at the moment is this lie in regards to her name. And this has been exposed by comments section quite brilliantly, actually, by looking back at what she said first on Oprah Winfrey, then on With Love Meghan, and then in this Bloomberg interview with Emily Chang, there are a whole load more lies. So Lady C, she, in 2021, when speaking to Oprah Winfrey, was furious about the fact that the awful royal family were trying to take away her Markle surname. What's changed?
This isn't the first time the staged label has hovered over the Sussex orbit. From pre-wedding photo ops and hyper-produced rollouts to eyebrow-raising PR around charitable ventures, critics argue there's always a sheen of choreography. Add in the internet's more extreme conspiracy corners, yes, the infamous moon bump nonsense, and a recurring perception takes hold. Whenever scrutiny rises, out comes a cinematic reset. Supporters call it survival in a hostile media landscape. Detractors call it manipulation. Either way, the receipts and rewinds keep piling up, and audiences are getting better at spotting when the seams show.
Well, you know, Dan, she did make one very valid point, which is that irrespective of her name, she remains the person that she always was.
Mm-hmm.
The pity of it is that she has shown us the person that she always was. On her trajectory upwards, as she was climbing the ladder, using all techniques, whether vertical, horizontal, or otherwise, to aspire to the heights. She ensured that she went to great lengths to conceal the reality of what she was. Well, she has failed to do that now, because she has now revealed what she is. So I think to that extent, she's actually speaking the truth. I do think, though, that you know, when she's making much ado about the name, and it's totally unnecessary. Who else does anything like that? And also she's wrong when she says that her name is Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, is the style given to a divorced wife of a duke. So, for instance, Sarah.
So it's her future name.
Exactly. or maybe she's aspiring she's laying claim to it already, you know. But I mean, she is actually, though, correct to the extent that not only in ducal families, but in really any titled family, the wife is the surname that she uses, possibly as an alias, is the geographic element of her husband's title. For instance, my stepmother-in-law was always known as Margaret Argyll to people who knew her well, and Margaret, Duchess of Argyll, to the public. And I notice nowadays that if you look up on Wikipedia, it says Margaret Campbell, Duchess of Argyll. Well, she was never Margaret Campbell, Duchess of Argyll. She was always Margaret, Duchess of Argyll. The Duchess of Argyll part of it qualifies as a surname. But if you have a title, it is your title that qualifies as a surname. I mean, on my passport, for instance, my title is my surname, the whole title. And so to that extent, she is right. But I mean, who makes the palaver about it that she's making? And also, which married woman is going to the lengths of styling herself as a divorcee, unless, of course, she is laying the ground for future elements. Let's put it that way.
Well, indeed, because what she's saying is, ha, 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 ha. Even if you do try and get rid of me, even if Harry does finally see sense, even if he does go through with it, I'm forever Duchess of Sussex, no matter whether you like it or not. And then she has to play to the American audience like, I know this is so ridiculous. Well, if it's so ridiculous, go back to Markle, the name that to Oprah Winfrey, you claim the royal family were so shockingly trying to take away from you. Lady C, Catherine and William returned to work today. And certainly the Princess of Wales has gone blonder. I know everyone was trying to say, no, it is just the sun. But come on, look there. She has gone noticeably blonder and I love it. What do you think?
Well, I would say let's wait until December.
Do you think it's just a bit of summer blush?
I think she most likely streaks her hair, and I think that in the sun, when you're in the sun and you have streaked hair, it lightens more dramatically than if it's just natural hair. I think that's a possibility. Maybe she is going lighter, which I think would be a grave mistake, because her coloring is that of a dark-haired or an auburn-haired woman. She's not a blonde, and I think she would be making the mistake that Elizabeth Taylor, who was classically dark-haired, made when she went blonde. A beautiful dark-haired woman who goes blonde loses her looks. I mean, she becomes less distinctive. She becomes more ordinary. So let's see. I mean, it could just be that because she was on that cruise for the length of time that she was soaking up the sun, that her hair lightened. It could be that. But if it's done in a beauty salon, let me put it this way, she's making a mistake.
Here's where it really hurts. The market for meticulously curated fairy tales is shrinking. Audiences want messy but real, more than flawless but fake. When alleged Instagram fakery gets exposed, when former allies fade from the frame, and when even family appears to wobble, the brand stops converting. The result? Diminishing returns on every relaunch. You can blame the press, the palace, the trolls, but fatigue is fatigue. The more the public senses control, the less they give you grace. And if mom truly tapped out, that's a signal no publicist can spin away.
And ladies, see, I know nothing about this stuff, right? I'm going to hold my hands up, so I bow to your superior knowledge here. But some people were saying to me this afternoon, it very much looks like these are hair extensions. Do you think that's true and doesn't matter? Because obviously, you know, we know that part of that could be because of the treatment that she underwent for her cancer.
No, because she would have lost her hair during the treatment. She wouldn't lose it several months after the treatment. And so I don't think so. But I mean, maybe she's experimenting, you know,
Well, it's a good time to do it over summer, isn't it? Because she didn't have many public appearances, as you say. So there was a little bit of time for her to have that experimentation. The other thing, ladies, I wanted to ask you about was the fashion, because this has been a strategic move by Catherine. She's very clear now that when she is at more day-to-day public engagements, like of course if she's on a red carpet or it's a big ceremony or something like that, she's going to dress up. But when she's doing day-to-day engagements, she wants the focus to be much more on her work rather than what she's wearing. What do you make of that decision?
I think it's a very wise decision. I think that, you know, the most good-looking royal women have a dilemma. On the one hand, they need to promote the designers of their country. And on the other hand, they don't want to become so obviously clothed horses that it's all about what they wear. Diana did the same thing. Jackie Kennedy did the same thing, not that she was royal, but the point is, very stylish, good-looking women have traditionally, they may, in more grand and formal occasions, they opt for the glamour, but in their everyday life and when they're functioning on just a daily basis, they want the focus to remain not on their clothes, but on their work. And therefore, they wear more mundane and nondescript things. But I mean, no matter what Catherine wears, she's a clothes horse. She wears clothes beautifully. She's just naturally great with wearing clothes. She could have been a top model because she has the gift of whatever she puts on. Well, she's of course careful what she puts on, but what she puts on looks fabulous on her. And I think the focus, I think she's got the balance absolutely right, because when she's at a movie premiere and she wears a Jenny Packham and she creates a sensation and everybody says, oh, fabulous, doesn't she look gorgeous, and the dress is fabulous. But on a day-to-day basis, she's just wearing ordinary clothes. And it's clever because Meghan, of course, does the absolute opposite. Because Meghan makes sure that wherever she is, whatever she's wearing, she has to convey the message that the earrings are worth this, the pearls hair are worth that, or the pearls are worth something else, and the dress is worth something else. And so the focus, Meghan, but then of course Meghan was merching stuff. And of course that has also come to an end, interestingly enough, because her shop window, so to speak, has been vacated. But she whatever she does, she makes sure that there's a merching element to it, which pushes the product. And Catherine is quite rightly not doing that. That's my opinion.
If these reports are accurate, Meghan's obsession with perfect optics is burning through goodwill and relationships. You can stage a photo, but you can't stage trust. You can script a caption, but you can't script family loyalty. If Doria really walked, that may be the wake-up call. Authenticity isn't a filter, it's a lifestyle. What do you think? Has Meghan finally pushed her PR playbook too far, or will there be one more glossy reset that keeps the story alive? Drop your take in the comments, smash like if you're over the fakery, and subscribe for more no-nonsense royal breakdowns.